Nothing compares to the freedom you get owning a sport utility, on the road or off. After you get the chance to drive the all-new Ford Escape, you'll understand why Ford chose that name for this all-new, smaller sport utility. The Ford Escape is for drivers who want the versatility, but not the size of larger SUVs. It provides classic Ford fun, styling, and capability in a size that fits today's lifestyles and budgets. But don't take my word for it. Here's what the experts at Car and Driver had to say when they put the all-new Ford Escape to the test.
Welcome to this edition of Car and Driver that starts off with the first test of the Explorer's new baby brother. This is the all-new Ford Escape. Sure, it starts with an E. We expected Ford would do that to go with Explorer, Expedition, Excursion. What we didn't expect is that Ford would earn an A+ grade for the Escape. That has just rewritten the book on small sport utilities. This new Ford is going to fool you until you get to know it better. It looks like a serious sport utility with a beefy black front-end fascia and familiar Ford styling in the rear view. So you will think it's bigger than it is. It's actually 4 inches shorter than the Honda CR-V, but the styling is more serious than the competition.
It's got a great look to it that's kind of hard to describe, and maybe the best way to do it is it looks vaguely sporty, it looks a little bit rugged, it looks all the things you want to get in a family SUV.
And there's more to it than just the look, with Ford engineers working some magic to get a big interior in a small sport utility.
The front compartment is the same, virtually the same size as a Grand Cherokee or Ford Explorer. Rear compartment has sufficient room for 3 across, and even I can sit in the rear seat with sufficient legroom. And the cargo compartment is quite large also. Easy to fold down the rear seats to get flexible people cargo carrying capability. So I think the real hidden story here is the interior package.
And done in leather in our XLT Topline Tester, this is a most comfortable place for 4 6-footers to be, with standard air and stereo with CD player. Driver and passenger get both front and side airbags in the deal. Then there's the news under the hood. The transversely mounted 200-horse 24-valve V6 is the option here that makes way more power than anything else in the class. And that makes for way better acceleration, 8.8 seconds from 0 to 60. Then there's the braking performance, 70 to 0 in a phenomenal 171 feet with no fade. None, even with repeated full anti-lock testing. The Escape suspension is independent all around, with the differential mounted to the unibody in the rear and half shafts if you option for 4-wheel drive. But it's not traditional 4-wheel drive. The rotary switch doesn't change the basic operation of the system switched to 4x4 mode, just the reaction time, as the clutch system directs power to the rear wheels when front wheel slip is detected. In action on gravel, the Escape very quickly engages the rear wheels to help move off the line, and the locking action of the clutch pack is undetectable. You can't feel it cut in the rear end when the front wheels call for help. The result is first-class trail running with plenty of power from the strong V6 and good comfort flying down fire roads with the independent suspension on all corners. But the Escape is not a rock crawler or mud bogger. There is no low-range setting for serious off-road digging. But that will not be a concern to the majority of drivers who want the reassurance of 4-wheel drive for slippery conditions on the road. And in that area, the Escape outdoes its older sibling with the right combination of smooth ride and crisp handling. And you can enjoy good handling and good ride and still get 24 miles to the gallon on the highway. It's a new homegrown benchmark in the segment that's good enough to earn a cover story.
Well, this segment is incredibly hot. Everyone talks about how well SUVs are selling, and there's a lot of focus on the big giant ones. But that small SUV segment, particularly the type that are less truck-like and more car-like, has been also doing very well. And so far, the imports have owned that segment. The Escape here is the first domestic entry in here, and from what we hear about the pricing, I think it's going to really jump into that market very strongly.
What we hear about the pricing is a base of just over $18,000 for a 2x4 entry-level version that can be optioned with everything we'd want in the XLT 4x4 package for $25,750. So here's the summary. It's affordable, it's good looking, has a gutsy engine, and a versatile all-wheel drive system. The truth is, we weren't expecting a vehicle as good as the Escape, which has turned out to be the automotive surprise of the year. This time, Ford hit a home run.
It's not what you do for a living, it's what you live to do. Introducing the all-new Ford Escape. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.